Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. That was weird. Hey everyone, welcome back to another hey everyone, welcome back. What is that noise? God, let me do this damn intro properly. Anyway, hey everyone, welcome back to another Okay, there's obviously some weird noises coming from this chest, so let's have a quick look here before we do the freaking intro. So, what can be in here? Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. Apologies if the intro was a little bit scary, but you know, we had to kind of set the tone for today, right? Because ghast tears or ghast screams are in our very near future. You see, if you tuned into the last episode, you would know that we have plans today at least to do a absolutely omega, yeah, that's right, omega ghast farm. And I thought, you know what, you should get used to all the scary sounds and all the freakiness of a ghast, so I thought let's get you guys interested in in the intro. I apologize guys if anyone actually got scared. I wasn't supposed to do that, but also it was totally supposed to do that. So anyway, the idea of today's episode, of course, is to continue on, or to, you know, get a fresh start of the whole situation we spoke about last time. You see, the idea today is going to be to, well, we're getting started on the ghast farm. We're not wasting any time. We're not going to do this and that. We might scare you a little bit, obviously, which was the part of the plan. But other than that, we're going to get started on the ghast farm. We're going to build up this ghast farm. We're going to explain how it works. We're going to get the overworld side sorted, and it's going to be a great time. Okay, all the scary stuff is behind us except for the really loud scary ghast sounds, but other than that, the scary sounds are behind us, and today we build an epic ghast farm. So in case you're wondering, we obviously need a bunch of materials to get this ghast farm started. Again, if you didn't tune into the last episode, I would highly advise that maybe you go back, have a little look at what happened in the last episode, and maybe we'll give you a bit more of an idea of what's going on here today. But ghast farm requires a lot of resources, and obviously in the last episode we picked up all the obsidian that we needed, and I just needed a few more blocks really. Well, I needed like 10 shulker boxes of something else, but that was mainly just a building block to have the ghast spawn on top of. You can see from my inventory we are totally full of items, so we've got about 5 shulker boxes of obsidian, and then something, I think, like, what is this, like 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9.5, 10 shulker boxes of what is that again? Blackstone? Yeah, Blackstone. We're using Blackstone obviously because we have like so much, I don't know what to do with any of it. So we're using Blackstone today, and it looks a little bit nicer than cobble or stone. So yeah, let's get to building, or let's get into a little bit more of an explanation for it. So the first thing we're going to need to do is obviously find ourselves a Soul Sand Valley. Soul Sand Valley isn't that hard to find. In fact, I found a quote-unquote perfect location for it. And, well, just a heads up, first of all, I'm using a new shader, or an update of BSL shader packs. So, as you just saw from that color change, things do tend to change. Oops, that you were supposed to see my butt like that. We need the F screen up. So the idea is that we're supposed to have a... So with the new BSL update, you kind of see the nether has a slightly different tone depending on where we go in the nether. So some parts like the nether waste will be a bit more orange, and if we can find my, here you go, the Soul Sand Valley's a lot bluer, as you can see. And funnily enough, this is the Soul Sand Valley that we're actually going to be using for our ghast farm today. So the idea is to get things started up, and to basically find the location where we've been kind of testing things in our test world of our main build. Now, the first thing to do is to kind of get a schematic up. So I have made a schematic that's going to give us an outline of where things are going to go. Now, the idea is to build only one layer first of all. We're going to then go through the portals, and we're going to find the location of where the exit should be, and then we're going to start building things up on that side, because if we do it that way, then at least we know we've got that part set up, and then any kind of things that we get whilst we're building this, any ghasts that spawn and kind of count towards the farm whilst I'm building it, they can all be killed, and we have it all on the other side. So that should be all nice and easy to build. So without further ado, let's get things started with our first time lapse, I think. So we're going to do a nice and easier time lapse just so you can see how the first layer kind of looks. And then we'll be back and we're going to go into the overworld and start building the other side. But let's start off with this thingy first. Okay, and we are back. Now you can see the first layer, I should say, of portals are now set and ready almost to go. The only thing left to do is to go ahead and light these bad boys up. But we're going to do that in a second, but we want to make sure we've got everything when we get to the other side to make sure that we're doing the right thing here. The first thing to check is to make sure we've got some of the more important ingredients, which now that I look at my ender chest, I don't think that we do have. Now we've got glass, which is something we're going to need a little bit of, but the main thing that we're missing at the moment is soul sand and wither roses. We've got hoppers for all the collection in our redstone boxes, so we're all good for that kind of stuff, but we are unfortunately missing soul sand and wither roses. Now I have a little bit of a worry about flying back again, because once I fly away and come back, there is going to be an absolute ton of mobs around here. The thing to do maybe would probably be, I don't know, maybe consider like lighting these portals up just so at least the skeletons don't spawn. But then ghasts are definitely still going to spawn, so it's still going to be a bad time either way. So I think I'm going to quickly go, let's go quickly back to base, grab some soul sand, grab some wither roses, and then we should be good to go to the overworld side and basically find our coordinates and see where we're going to have to start building things up. Give me a sec, I'll be right back. Nope. Nope. Oh, there you go. So we'll need a few stacks of these. We also need wither roses, which, here we go, which we got. I think a couple stacks should be more than enough. In fact, I probably need like 15 of them, but that's all good. Okay, good. Oh no. Oh. Ruin everything. We're not ready to light portals, sir. You can't just come along like that and do stuff whatever you want. Did he destroy any more shulker boxes? He better not have. I'll be so angry. Okay, we're good. Anyway, so we have picked up our last bits of things to get ready for this part of the farm. So we've got the soul sand and we've got the wither roses. Now, before we head over to the other side, I just need to quickly go and remind myself. Oh, I'll go ahead and take all that, Mr. Ghast. We just need to quickly remind ourselves of what exactly is that we... sorry, the location of where the portals that I'm going to need are going to spawn. Because when I light any of these portals up, it's not going to be in the location that we want it to be in. And the portal location has to be in a very specific place. Now, just explaining how this portal farm works, there's a reason why there's only 7 modules. There's a reason why that each portal is the size that it is. And there's also a reason why it goes to a certain build height. Well, the build height thing is because you run out of build height, basically. So this is this is as high as you're able to build this thing. But yes, we are indeed building this at a specific size and a specific width for a reason, which is because the portal linkages become very sketchy when you have 2 bigger portals. And so we need to basically find the centralized location of all of these portals, which is basically this coordinate in the overworld. But, you know, I've already done the calculations for it, so we're not actually going to get into that at the moment. But the idea is that you need to find the center location of your farm, and you want to make that the center location of the killing chamber on the other side. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead into the overworld, and we are going to go ahead and find our center location of the farm. So let's go ahead and light one of these up and see where we end up. In fact, we're gonna need our ender chest for this excursion. So let's go ahead and put this back in here. And oh god, not again! No! Stop breaking stuff, Mr. Ghast. See, this is why you need to get the other side ready to go straight away, because as soon as they start spawning, they're gonna start destroying things. And do you know what? I'm a little bit worried they're gonna destroy my my ender chests. Okay, so I've just wanted to remind myself, get a little refresher of where the where the portal needs to be on the other side. I have now figured that out, so let's go ahead and go through and let's see where we end up on this side. Hopefully it's not nighttime. Okay, we're good. And what we're going to do, we don't actually need to break the whole portal, we just need to break a block so we don't have that to go back in. And now my coordinates for the portal are 15367367. Just double checking the location. So 1536, that should be right here. And then the other coordinates is going to be this way. So we just need to carry on going down this location. We want 7367. So we've actually gone just a wee bit too far. So 173, make sure that's right, and 1536, which is right here. So this is the left side of our location, and we want to be facing east. We want to make sure that the portals are basically side by side like that, which means we are in the absolutely right location. So I'm just going to double check one more time. 1536 and 7367. Perfect. So we are in the location that we need to be, and we are going to go ahead and make our way up to, we need to reach Y level 130 for this to work perfectly. I think you can probably do it a little bit lower, but Y level 130 is pretty good for me. I think I'm happy with that. We're going to go ahead and make sure that's the bottom block of obsidian. So let's go ahead and find that. So we're at 125. And then remember, block number 130 is that one there. And that is perfectly the center of our farm. And we're going to go ahead and put another block of obsidian there. Now, the next thing to do is to go ahead and build the portal up, which is going to consist of this. That should be the right size. Now, the next thing we're going to do is just go ahead and lay out the platform. This should make building around a little bit easier. Just keep in mind, this part of the farm is actually really fairly easy. It's mostly just building a platform of soul sand and then the collection center. We're not going to do the full collection thing just yet. We're going to come back to that later on. But we want to make sure that all the portals are linked up and make sure everything's kind of working okay. So that's kind of portal call number one. So we're going to go ahead and take our box back. And we're going to help ourselves down here a little bit. So we'll do that, get rid of this block. And then again, we want to do 3 blocks in depth. So that's perfect. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then same thing on this side, 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and give this just a little bit of width. It's not actually all that necessary. But it gives the ghasts a little bit of space just to spread out in some way. Otherwise, they kind of get really cramped in one center. And we're not trying to kill them with entity cramming. We're actually trying to kill them with some wither roses. So let's go ahead and grab those. You can see all the soul sand I brought was quite unnecessary, but, you know, always bring more, you know, in case you need it. You know, you never know. The wither roses are the next thing to place down. Now, the wither roses are only going to go against this last section here. We don't want to populate this entire thing with wither roses, because if the ghasts start dying too close to the portal, then half of the items end up getting sent back in through the other side of the portal, which is not what we want to do. We want to make sure they're actually pushed out a little bit, and then the hitboxes are, ow. The hitboxes are actually somewhere over here when they're getting killed, and same thing goes on this side as well. So we'll go ahead and place those just like that. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, the last thing we do want to do is actually, we're going to give them a little bit more space on the side, just in case that it gets too cramped. In all honesty, I just checked my previous world. I've realized that I have missed out one side a little bit over here. So we go ahead and extend this out. And then we're going to go ahead and extend this out. And if I'm very honest, guys, if all things have worked out well, this should be a majority of everything done. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to come out the bottom. We're also going to use this opportunity now that we're here. Before I destroy this little pillar that we used, we're going to go ahead and create a little platform just like this. And we're going to use this platform to, number one, help us with creating the collection system. So actually the thing to, oh god, what have I done here? Okay, I didn't bring an ender chest with me, which is kind of pathetic, but no big deal. Let's quickly, well, this gives us a great opportunity to make sure that the portals are going to link well. So first things first, let's go ahead and go back into the nether before we get rid of that. Ooh, ow, ow. Stop it. Okay, good. Now, if everything's worked out well, I should come out of the one portal that was lit. So fingers crossed, guys. Make sure I did it right. Yes. Okay, brilliant, 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 brilliant. Okay, now the next thing we're going to need to do is make sure we get our ender chest. So let's go ahead and grab one of these. In fact, we won't take that one. We'll just go ahead and grab that. And I don't think there's anything on this side that I really need. So yeah, we're not going to need any of that kind of stuff. But we are going to run one more quick test whilst we're here. Let's go ahead and light this up and make sure we come out where we should do, which we should. This is the closest one to that. So yep, perfect, perfect, perfect. I got a little bit worried there, totally honest, guys. But we're all good, so that's all fine. Let's go ahead and grab our ender chest. It looks like it's about to start getting nighttime, so that's good. We got our shulker box full of our necessities, which means we've got a bed in there. And again, we're just going to carry on bringing out this platform just so we've got enough space to start building out with the hoppers. So obviously the hopper collection system is nothing ridiculously complicated or even remotely complicated, if I'm honest. The idea is we're just going to put a bunch of chests down for now. Obviously, like I said, we are going to do the whole collection system just in a little while. This is just, again, to get us started, make sure we're not wasting too much. Okay, that should be a sufficient platform. Next thing we're going to want to do is just grab ourselves, maybe one double chest should do the job for now. So we'll do something like this. And then we'll do, see, the thing is with this is that even though this is a relatively fast ghast farm, it's not crazy fast. So just going ahead and filling in this kind of system here is pretty much good enough. Now, as far as rates are concerned, if anyone was actually wondering, the items that you get through here is somewhere in and around 8,000 items an hour. Now, when you consider the size of this thing and how much work we're going to put into it, hold on, let me quickly go to sleep. When you consider the size of it and how much effort you actually have to end up putting in it, ultimately, you know, with all the obsidian collection and stuff, 8,000 to 9,000 items isn't a ridiculous amount. But actually, when you consider that when you consider like some other ghast farms, there's a lot of work that goes into them with very little output. Sometimes you get a couple stacks of ghast tears an hour, which is, you know, that's pretty pathetic if you ask me. We ain't about a couple stacks an hour over here. So we're looking at 8,000 items an hour, well, almost 9,000 items an hour. And that's also including the gunpowder and the ghast tears. So we're going to get a hefty amount from this. But again, when you consider like the size of farm, not a huge amount that you're actually getting out of it. Okay, so now that we've got the temporary storage system going over here, the next thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and build a little encasing for them just to make sure they don't go flying anywhere. Obviously, they're not going to be able to get killed by these wither roses if they're flying all around. So we're going to go ahead and encompass this whole thing. So we'll just go ahead and do something like this. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have all the glass that I need now that I think about it. We should do, but we might be a little bit short. So let's see how this goes. Let's see if we can go ahead and fill all of this out. Basically, the majority of this farm, or like the general working of this farm, is pretty much done at that point. The only thing left to do now is to kind of get this thing all lit up, make sure all the portals are in the right place. Okay, let's go ahead and make our way back to the other side of the portal. And let's see how we're looking over here. Any scary ghasts trying to scare us? Okay, good. So let's go ahead and light up all of these portals. We're going to try and test a few here and there just to kind of make sure things are working as they should be. So go ahead and put this down. We're going to put that one. I think the best way to check if this actually works is to try both of the end sides of the portal. So let's see. Okay, good. That's good. That one linked up just fine. Now I should have probably checked the location of that portal to make sure I was going through the right one, which is kind of embarrassing, but I'm pretty sure it was that one I just went through. If not, we'll try the opposite side now because I know where it is. So we'll make sure that all works. Excellent. This is all working well and good. And the main thing is actually the width, portal width, basically. So as long as they work where, you know, the portal works on this side and then the portal works on the other side, height-wise, we're all good because we've got the kind of right Y level. But the main thing is to check if these portals are working fine. Now, if I go through the right portal here, yes, excellent. Okay, good, good. That means we have done everything right. It means that the farm is actually working as completely intended. And it seems like we are now pretty much good to go. The unfortunate thing is you're not actually really going to see this farm really working at the capacity or even correctly as it should be. I need to get to an AFK spot, and then obviously you're not going to be able to see them going through on the other side anyway. So I think the best thing to do is to maybe get this thing... I think we're going to go ahead and get this thing built up all of the way to the top. And we're gonna get it built at a good significant height, and then maybe once we get about half of it done, we'll actually run some tests and make sure everything's running okay. I think it should be all good from now on anyway, but I think it's best that we have a little look at it. So I think you really realize what that actually means. Time lapse again. Look at the size of this thing. This is an absolutely colossal farm. Now, I hope you enjoyed that 1.5-minute time lapse or 2-minute time lapse, whatever it ended up working out as. But let me tell you, this is a project that has taken me, I would say anywhere between 6 and 8 hours to do in total. Maybe a little bit more, actually, now that I think about it, because there was a lot of times where I didn't actually end up recording. But in terms of the replay mod stuff that I had, it seemed to have been somewhere in and around 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours. Not 100% sure. All I can tell you is this whole thing took a very, very long time. But as you probably saw from the end of it, from the very short, well, you saw like a 20-second replay mod clip of all the ghasts popping in and out. Ooh, you see that one behind me? So the 20-second clip that you just saw was about 4 minutes in total that I did. And this thing is absolutely pumping out the ghasts, let me tell you. This thing has been running, well, I haven't actually done any real AFKing yet because we're going to quickly put a storage system on the other side for this. We've got to get the sorters and stuff sorted out for it. But generally speaking, this thing is absolutely pumping out the ghasts. I already know that that little double chest that I put in is, well, probably backed up completely. In fact, the hoppers that we have are probably all backed up at this point, but we'll go check that out in a second. First thing we're going to do is, well, we need to get to the other side nice and safely, right? Because at the moment, this farm is actually running, and we can't really use one of these portals. I realized this quite recently, that you can't use any of the portals to get through because it's going to end up causing some issues. I'm going to end up getting blown up, or the collection center is going to end up getting all blown up. So what I'm going to do is I am going to quickly create a portal. We want to create one just a little bit further away from the farm. It shouldn't actually link with the farm because it should be further enough away. There was a bit of an issue with linkages anyway when you got just a couple blocks out of there. So we're gonna hope that maybe this works. So what we'll do, let's do one right here. I think this should be further enough away that we shouldn't have any issues. So let's go ahead and put one of these down. Let's see if we can get to the other side really quickly. I've repaired this this mending and unbreaking flint and steel a few times now. It's crazy that I'd ever actually need to do it in like a short space of time. Kind of weird, but all right, let's go have a little look and see where we end up. Fingers crossed we don't end up in the farm. Yes, okay, perfect. We did not want that to happen. Now, I'm just wondering, whereabouts are we in correlation to the farm? I don't think we're too far away. It should be around here somewhere. There we go, perfect. I didn't think we were too far. I don't know if it's worth me changing the location at all. I might just leave it as it is, because what's the big deal? Okay, good. Nothing's blown up. And as you can see, well, collection's obviously full. All of the hoppers are full. Obviously these ones aren't for some reason. I'm assuming a lot of them aren't dying around the back. I imagine most of the dying is happening either on the sides, because oh, here we go. Yeah, there's some specific hoppers that are actually doing all of the job, but you can see at the top here, yeah, everything is kind of overflowed now. So we've got a bunch of drops here. Obviously you got those ones over there. The roof actually got broken at some point, which I'll need to repair, but we're going to do that later on anyway. I think the first thing for me to do is maybe I should get the whole collection system set up just so we can do a nice AFK session. I want to do an evening AFK session today where I just kind of let this whole thing run for a little while. So yeah, I think the best thing to do is actually just to get rid of these drops. I'm going to be getting them by the buttload anyway. So let's not worry about those. I'll break this. Let's get all this emptied out, and I'm gonna build a collection system. I'm not gonna show you how the collection system works. I'm sure you understand how collection systems work with me now at this point. Shulk loaders, all that kind of stuff, auto sorting. Also, I don't need to add any like water streams or anything. It just needs to be a hopper line. So this will be pretty straightforward. Give me a couple minutes. I'll be back with a result. And collection system is nice, ready, and good to go. I'm not gonna run you through the specifics of this. This is basically this is a shulker loader that you might have seen on my channel. So if you're interested, go have a look at it. It's the 1.5 wide shulker loader. I haven't really actually optimized it for being 1.5 wide just because I wanted it to be a bit equal in terms of size, and I'm a bit weird and anal about that. But essentially, we just got the shulker loaders ready to go. We've got the filters at the top just so we're filtering out between the ghast tiers and the gunpowder. And in the process of building this, we already have one shulker box of gunpowder. No ghast tiers, because I ended up throwing most of them away just because it was kind of getting in the way whilst I was trying to build this. I'm surprised I even really have any gunpowder from this, which is kind of strange. But that's good news because it seems like everything's in somewhat of a working order. I've gone ahead and added in a little overflow chest here because I'm not 100% sure whether hopper speed is going to be good enough. And this is actually going to be a good way for me to kind of test and see if everything is exactly how it should be. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go back to the other side of the world. We're going to put an AFK player in the position for where we need to AFK for the farm, and we'll come back here and watch and see if everything's working okay. I've already gone ahead and made the adjustments to turn the hostile noise creatures off, but let's go ahead and turn it to 2%. Even that's a little bit too loud probably, but let's go have a little look, and yeah, we'll be back here once we set the player up. Yay! We have a fully working ghast farm! And oh my god, why are they so loud? Come on guys, you gotta keep it down a little bit here, alright? We ain't got this kind of time. Alright, cool. The quick thing to check here, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and turn the hostile signs off because even at 2% they're a bit too loud. Okay, so they are now being destroyed and we are collecting all of their drops, which is good. I do wonder though how much of them are actually dying from the wither roses and how many are just dying from entity cramming, because I don't see them actually getting too close to this side of stuff until they're actually dead. There's no wither roses on the side here, so they're definitely not getting killed off by that. I think they're all just getting squished to death and or like suffocating or something, which is fine by me. I don't really care as long as we're getting the job done. That's all that matters. And let's have a quick look and see if we're getting the ghast tears through. Not much or anything at all at this point. It seems like we're getting a lot of gunpowder for sure. Yeah, the gunpowder's trickling on through. Ghast tears not as much. Huh. That's a little bit questionable. Let's have a quick look. Okay, never mind. The ghast tears are actually coming through just quite a bit slower than we would expect. There you go. You can see that's actually working just fine. That's probably for the best because now we know the system's actually running kind of at the speed that you want it to be. Otherwise, things would be working a little bit too fast. And now that I think about it, when I did my testing, that's actually an equal amount of ratio of how much gunpowder to ghast tears we get. You can see gunpowder's pretty much trickling through non-stop. You don't really see any pauses in that. But yeah, everything seems to be working just fine. Obviously, I'll be running some tests between now and the next episode. Make sure everything seems to be working all well. But I think for now, we're going to consider this as actually working perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and AFK here for a little while. And hopefully we should have all the drops that we're going to be needing for this farm. Ideally for me, this is going to be an overnight situation. So we're going to run this for maybe 8 hours or so. That should probably give me enough ghast tears and enough gunpowder to last me for, well, ghast tears probably forever. I don't think I'm going to be needing too many shulker boxes of that, even though I've kind of, oh, okay, never mind. There you go. Good example quickly before we end things. We've got one shulker box of ghast tears, which actually should probably be enough for eternity. But if you come around the back here, luckily for duping our shulker shells, we've got a ton of shulker boxes here, and same goes for this side as well. Although now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't seem like something's working right. Right, seems a sad note to end on this, but unfortunately we're going to have to end the episode. But it seems like the shulker loader's not working as it should be. It may just be that the first run didn't work out how I thought it would. Although now that I think about it, it was kind of packed to the top, wasn't it? Anyway, I'm going to keep an eye on this. So I'll let this run with the AFK player. Hopefully we'll get another shulker box to break sometime soon, and then I can make sure that the system's it is working, but hopefully maybe there's a little bit of a glitch on the first set of boxes. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and end the episode there with some screams, the way we started things off. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Maybe consider leaving a like. Obviously, consider, maybe a nice little sub. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, where we're going to be taking on the next part of the brewing system, which is potentially going to be the brown mushroom farm. I've been working on a really cool farm that I think you guys are going to enjoy. So I'll see you guys on the next one.